Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics here at The Hindu with me, Nistula Hebbar, where we unpack the news making the headlines in domestic politics. This was a news heavy week with the BJP's 2 day national executive being held in New Delhi, ending with party president JP Nadda being given an extension in that post till June 2024, effectively making him the party president under whom the BJP will be facing the general elections of 2024. Various messages emanating out of the meeting with regard to Prime Minister Modi's appeal to BJP workers to reach out to all sections of society, including minorities, regardless of electoral compulsions, and his very real worry over the party's prospects in Karnataka and other southern states. All of that is available on our week-long coverage of this event in The Hindu. Please do look it up. But this was also the week when election dates were announced for Tripura, Meghalaya, and Nagaland by the Election Commission of India, with results to be declared in early March. We will take that up next week. But the interesting news politically has by far been former Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Sachin Pilot's yatra or farmers' rallies in that state, where he has been attacking his own party's government led by Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. This is, of course, is an incident which has a long background and has implications for the state going into polls at the end of 2023. We will be looking at this particular set of events in this episode of Talking Politics. So, in order to start things off, let's begin with what Sachin Pilot has been saying during the course of his yatra, of which 4 rallies or Kisan Sammelans had been held at the time of recording this video. He's expected to also again address a farmers' rally on today, the day that I am recording this episode of Talking Politics. But since that hasn't happened yet, I will confine myself to what he has been saying in his 4 rallies. So Pilot, who was the state Congress chief during the 2018 assembly elections, which brought the Congress to power, has been targeting the Gehlot government's various acts of omission and commission in his yatra. For example, now paper leak in the recruitment exams for government servants and teachers is a huge issue in the state, and the government has not been able to curb this menace. It has led to a lot of protest and has led to a lot of unpopularity of the government, because government jobs are extremely prized. People invest a lot in terms of resources and time to prepare for these exams, and to have these exam papers leaked on the day of the exam is a big blow to candidates appearing for these things. So it makes for for a very unpopular government. It also makes it seem as though the government is not administratively tight to curb this menace. He has been Sachin Pilot has been raising this issue of what he looks at as the failure of the government to curb this menace. Now, this was one of the first things that Pilot had said to corner the Ashok Gehlot government. He then raised the issue of adequate compensation for crop loss by assessments, etc. He says farmers have not been compensated for crop loss due to various natural disasters that have happened. And he also said that instead of extending government patronage and giving work to party workers, Congress workers who worked hard to get the party to power in 2018, the Ashok Gehlot government has been distributing sinecures to government officials, bureaucrats who retired, and they've been immediately re-employed by the Rajasthan government. And that, Sachin Pilot says, is not a good trend. Instead of that, Congress workers should be rewarded for having worked hard to get the party into power. But one of the most interesting accusations that he has been making against the Gehlot government has been that action has not been taken in the last 4 years on allegations leveled collectively by the Congress against BJP leader Vasundhara Raje during the last assembly elections. Now, Sachin Pilot was the party president. He said, when I was party president in the opposition, when we were campaigning to get the party to power, we said a lot of things about that government, about the Vasundhara Raje-led government, that there was corruption, there was, again, acts of omission and commission that should be investigated. The allusion also was to the fact that cases filed by the Rajasthan government against Robert Vadra, son-in-law of then Congress President Sonia Gandhi, are still hanging fire. And but whatever accusations that the Congress has made against the BJP on corruption have not been pursued. He sees this as a big lack that has been happening. Vasundhara Raje is also considered to be close to Ashok Gehlot, at least according to the Pilot camp. And therefore, this particular accusation has 2 or 3 aims in terms of political gains. Now, he also said that BJP leaders at the center had made false allegations against Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Cases against them are lodged and they are summoned by the Enforcement Directorate for questioning, and they are thus insulted. But he wondered why the Congress government in Rajasthan has not taken action against those BJP leaders who are involved in corruption in the last round of government. He not only alluded to the fact that Gehlot and opposition BJP leader Vasundhara Raje were close, as demonstrated by this lack of zeal in prosecuting cases, but it is always also a response by Sachin Pilot that he was not the traitor and that you need to look further afield to find a traitor to the Congress cause. Now, what is the background of this flurry of accusations from Sachin Pilot against his own party's government in the state, where admittedly he worked hard as Congress president to get the party to power? Now, all of this bad blood and bitterness has, of course, roots in the past. And we have been talking about this in previous episodes of Talking Politics. Please go back and have a look at what happened when. Shortly, like in short, if I want to explain it, it was in 2020 that Sachin Pilot, having waited long for the Congress High Command to make him Chief Minister of Rajasthan, replacing Ashok Gehlot, staged a rebellion to show that he had support of a certain number of MLAs, but he couldn't find enough MLAs to seriously threaten the Gehlot government. Gehlot government outplayed him. He was outplayed by Ashok Gehlot, who's a wily political manager, and on the persuasion of Congress General Secretary Priyanka Vadra, and on promises that his claims to be Chief Minister will not be overlooked in the future, it's just a matter of time, he returned to the BJP. He returned to the Congress. He did not join the BJP, as was speculated at that time. But when he returned, it was in a much diminished capacity organizationally. In September 2022, when elections for the post of Congress president were due, the High Command felt that by offering Ashok Gehlot the post of the National President of the Congress, AICC President, and replacing him with Pilot in Rajasthan would solve all its problems with regard to that state. This was not to be, as on September 25th last year, a large number of Congress MLAs owing loyalty to Gehlot rebelled. They said that they did not want Pilot as Chief Minister. They said it as blankly as that, because they said he had rebelled against his own party's government and that he was a traitor to the cause, and therefore they did not want him as Chief Minister, leave alone what promises had been made to him by the party high command. At that time, current party president Mallikarjun Kharge and Delhi leader Ajay Makkan had the humiliating experience as central observers to preside over this particular debacle. Things were quietened down, and then, Mr. Kharge finally became national president of the Congress. Ashok Gehlot remained as Rajasthan chief minister. Now, what did Sachin Pilot get out of it? Again, he got some promises that, look, we will sort this out. Just bide your time. There is a Bharat Jodo Yatra happening. Everyone should come together. This is for mobilization of not just voters, but more importantly of Congress organization. So this led to a temporary truce over the issue, even as Ajay Makkan resigned his charge of the state, citing his inability to handle Rajasthan, especially during Bharat Jodo Yatra, in face of the fact that those who had rebelled against the party high command hadn't faced disciplinary action, and that Ajay Makkan, as Rajasthan in charge, would have to get work out of these very rebel MLAs and these very rebel leaders who had so humiliated him in the past. He said, if I don't have authority to um, carry out the High Command's writ at that time, how do you think I will have the authority to do this at this time? There's no consequences for indiscipline that happened on September 25th. So all of that happened, but even so, a kind of truce prevailed and the Bharat Yatra went off peacefully with both Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot taking part in that yatra. But that truce of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, as demonstrated by the Kisan Sammelans held by Sachin Pilot, is now over. Now, Pilot seems to have realized that he has been outmaneuvered by Gehlot at every turn of the dice, be it 2020 or September 2022, or any kind of pressure from the High Command in Delhi, from the Congress High Command in Delhi. Now, because of all this, he is doing what every politician does at this point. Basically, go to the people, mobilize support, shore up your support base to basically demonstrate that, okay, these are the many people with me in case I want to make a break for it, in case I want to run for it, or also to give message to rivals and to the Congress High Command. Basically, he has to demonstrate that he is not over, that Mr. Ashok Gehlot may have outmaneuvered him in terms of court politics, but in terms of some amount of support, he still commands it, and he is awaiting the Rajasthan Assembly polls and what all unfolds then. Mr. Gehlot himself is not very quiet at this point. After having listened to all the accusations that Mr. Pilot made in his Kisan Yatra, he held a meeting of party people, and he said that in 2020 there was a virus that we faced. This was not just a reference to the COVID-19 pandemic and the coronavirus, but this was supposed to be a kind of a disguised sort of accusation at Sachin Pilot, calling him the virus of 2020 for Rajasthan Congress. This is a very, very sharp, sort of bitter sort of thing to say, and this is not going to help matters at all. There seems to be lines drawn, again, very, very clearly. They have been drawn actually very clearly for a very, very long time, since 2018. In fact, since I've been observing it, it's not been a very happy situation in Rajasthan for Congress, with these two leaders fighting it out for the Congress Chief Minister's chair. But the end game for Sachin Pilot, even when he is doing this kind of mobilization, is only clear up to the point that he is going out to the public and saying, okay, if you are identifying me with the acts of omissions and commissions of Ashok Gehlot government, that cannot be. I'm also raising my voice against it. And like the opposition BJP, the same kind of issues are being raised by Pilot. He's trying to distance himself from any kind of anti-incumbency that is attached to the Ashok Gehlot government. Also clearly saying that, I'm different. I am going to fight for what I'm due. But after that, there is no clarity whether he will form a regional outfit or join the BJP or do something else, because as the BJP has shared with me, certain BJP leaders have shared with me, they have kind of observed him and they feel that he kind of chokes at the final point of breaking off, of really pushing through with his ultimatums. Even in 2018, when it was decided that Ashok Gehlot would be the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, there was a lot of hangama by his supporters. They blocked highways in Rajasthan, etc. But he pulled them out without actually pushing through with his ultimatum or a demonstration of strength, of strengthening his position within the party. In 2020, he didn't have enough people. He didn't even come across to the BJP. He should have done so, what BJP leaders have been saying. So they say that he keeps choking. He keeps being fobbed off by the Congress High Command's promises. Nothing happens, and he himself does not push through with his ultimatum. So, like the BJP, I think the rest of us will also have to kind of keep watching as to what the end game for Sachin Pilot is in this scenario, because quite clearly Ashok Gehlot is not going anywhere. He has demonstrated that he's absolutely prepared to face the elections in at the end of 2023 under his own leadership. He doesn't even want to be national president of the Congress party. He wants to remain the chief minister of Rajasthan, whose will is going to be stronger, whether Sachin Pilot will choke or not. Well, this is an exciting build up to the Rajasthan Assembly polls, which are due in December 2023. We are going to be returning to this story again and again, as we have done in the past. But this is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching.